Welcome everyone to the 9th General Assembly of the ISA. This year in a bit of a smaller group than we are used to. We'll try to figure out why this is. Probably we didn't send a reminder. That's usually the case for such things. Thanks for joining. Anyhow, we have here the list of our active members. The way this works is delegates can vote. And we have a total of 20 or 21, you correct me, Sarah?
20, count.
20, okay. And a few didn't pay their membership fee. So these are excluded from voting. We're not going to kick them out now. We're leaving them as active members. But obviously, if this continues for like 2 or 3 years, they're not going to be active members anymore. But we got like, as far as I recall, 7 which did not pay their membership fees. All of these are, I think, not present here, as I remember. Yeah, maybe that's the reason why we have so few people here. Okay, this is going to be our roadmap. We're already a bit late, but I think we should get it through within this time frame. And yeah, let's get started. So to start with, just a couple quick facts on the ISA to give you a general overview. Pretty much unchanged from last year. A couple new regional associations that we will add today. So that's nice. No new national federations. We're still guessing about 3,000 slackliners within the ISA. More than 20 events we directly or indirectly support in different ways. We have more than 10 gear manufacturers, more than 15 languages we translate to, and in total on paper about 50 people working as volunteers from more than 15 countries. We were founded in 2015, so we are nearing our 10-year mark. That's going to be the case in 2 years. So here again, a quick overview of our national federations, which are our active members. So here you can see all their logos. And just to remind you how the ISA is structured, we have the General Assembly, which takes place today in a rather small format, which can vote on board members, executive and advisory board members. These then help with selecting people from the commissions, and the commissions are more or less independent. It's just the presidents which need to be elected, but the commissions can decide on their own members after the president has been defined. So we don't have any new board members to vote on, executive or advisory board members today, just some re-elections. So that should be fairly simple. Okay, an overview of our partners. These are commercial partners, so not members. This is the second category we created, especially for commercial entities. So this basically shows you all the brands that work with us. Most of them work with the ISA Safety Commission, and some are also external labs or education partners. So after defining a scrutineer, I think Sarah, you're perfectly suited for that. Does anybody have any objections for Sarah being our scrutineer for the day? If not, thanks a lot, Sarah. Has there been, is somebody in the protocol as well who could help a little bit with editing the protocol from last year? Sarah, are you in that as well?
Not yet, but I can go.
quickly maybe share the link to that protocol?
I'm just sharing the links for the voting.
Perfect.
I can do that after.
Or Augustin, could you quickly go check last year's protocol and copy that? Okay, so one thing we have to vote on after defining Sarah as a scrutineer, I think no objections there, is last year's protocol. You should have, like the active members should have all gotten that by email. Are there any comments on last year's protocol? It's also linked here in the presentation. Actually, I will also send you guys the link to the presentation. That's okay. Sarah just shared you guys the link. All right. Share. Okay, so in the comments you will also find the presentation from today. Okay, are there any comments or amendments we should do to last year's protocol? Please speak up if so. Okay, if not, thanks a lot, Augusta, for writing up that protocol last year. Can't remember doing it. Okay, let's continue. Just stop me if I'm going too quick, guys, okay?
The protocol going to access it.
Say again?
I'll do the sharing.
Okay, August, I will do the sharing of the this year's protocol.
Where is the presentation?
That's in the chat. Okay. Next thing I quickly want to talk about is our online account system. Sorry, it's cut off a little bit here in the presentation, but I think you can see it. So basically, we have an account system ready for everybody to use. And I would like to motivate you guys, especially our members, to check that out. I'll quickly works and okay, thanks, Hi. So basically, it's this website, account.slacklineinternational.org, and you have two options there. For our members, they can log in with their organizational email. So that's the email they usually receive news from by us, through us. So this, for example, for the Swiss Slackline Federation would be info@swiss-slackline.ch. And so this is option number one you guys have to log into the system. Once you log in, it looks like this. So you can see your organizational profile. Organization profile, where you can add your logo. You have an ISA ID for your organization. This is when you are in this tab profile, you can add some more info there. Now this is maybe something that could interest you. So individuals, which I will show afterwards, they can also create an account here. And these individuals can then basically request to join your organization. Okay, so here is your number of people that have requested to join Swiss Slackline. Some are pending, some are approved. I can approve them then with my organizational email. And once they are approved, I'll show you in a minute what they can do with this approval. The third thing you can do within your national or like member account is you can click on certificates and you can actually download your ISA membership certificate. So this is something very specific that you can do with this account, with this member account. So this is currently where we are with the account system for our members. So you have these three kind of options, and we will work on extending this in the future with different features. So, okay, jumping around a little bit. Sorry, guys. Something we've been doing a lot in the past year is basically supporting different kinds of events. And here just an extract of some events that we have been working with. And also, we can still see that the pandemic has an influence. We still have fewer events than before the pandemic. So, for example, at the bottom, a small list of events which are not taking place this year or have switched to like a 2-year cycle, or have completely stopped working since the pandemic. For example, Highline Extreme or Turkish Highline Carnival, which are not happening anymore. Okay. Here are just some pictures from past events of these reoccurring events. Okay, sorry, back to the ISA account system. But what I showed before is basically the option for you to open a profile as an organization, as a member. There's also the option of individuals registering into this account system, and then, as I said, a request to join your organization. So the website is the same. Currently, we have 624 users registered since we started this, so that's about a year, so quite a high number, which we're happy about. And it looks like this when you log in. So this is now my personal profile. I can add some personal information if I want to. And here under organizations, I can now see a list of organizations that I want to join. So, for example, down here, if I'm a member of the Australian Slackline Association, which I'm not, I could request to join. And then the Australian Slackline Association gets an email and can log in and approve your request. At the top, you can see 2 requests which have been approved. So I'm a member of Slack Attack and Swiss Slackline. So this is what it looks like if I'm approved. Then in the next step, you see this little verification QR there. I can click on that and it can open. So what is this good for? So there's a couple things which this can be nice for, but basically what this QR code does, it gives you a temporary approval of you being a member of this particular organization. Okay, so for example, I could go, let's say, to some public presentation of a Slackliner, and there is a certain deal in place, whereas members of, let's say, Slack Attack get a rebate on entry. So I can pick, show this QR code to the person at the entry gate, and it basically acts as an approval, as a key that I'm a member of this association or federation and can get this particular discount. So this is one case which we had in the past. A second use of this QR code would be, I'm ordering gear as an association, and I would like, I would basically like to get the rebate, which from this company. So what I can do is I can copy to clipboard. See down here this button, copy to clipboard, this QR code, and send it in with the order that I'm placing at the Slackline manufacturer shop. With this link, the manufacturer can then basically see that I'm actually a member of this club and give me the rebate on gear. So this is 2 particular types of usage for this new system that we have in place to verify that you are a member of a particular organization. Okay. Next, you have a 3rd tab on the left for your personal accounts, and that's the certificates tab. So here, individuals who have done certification or certifications or courses or organized events or have done world records and so on in the past they can actually download their certificates here. Okay, so there is a possibility that the certificates don't show up because basically they didn't log in with the same email which we have from them. So there's two options. They can just write us with their proper email, or they can send us this ISA ID on the upper left corner, and then we can add that to our systems and their certificates show up in their profile. So this is kind of the third option you have as an individual to use our ISA account system. So I think this is a big new thing. I wanted to present this first. Are there any questions on this account system that we have in place from you guys? Speak up now. Okay, if not, then I'll continue. This account system has a second part to it. It's an authentication system. So if one of your friends or you as a national federation are planning on creating your own service or app online, there is this authentication system in place. So you can compare it to, for example, the existing like Google or Facebook login options you have at third-party apps. So basically, we have our own authentication system, whereas you can implement that into your app or website or whatever, and people can actually, with their ISA login, log into your third-party applications. So just that you know that this is in place. This system is now currently used, not only obviously with the ISA account system, but also with SlackMap. So slackmap.com uses this authentication system as like a third-party app, and there are other applications in the future that can also use this system, for example, EMU ISA rankings or other digital products from you or us. This more as an information that you guys know that this is happening in the background. So this, it looks like this. It's basically if somebody wants to log in, let's say to SlackMap, they reach this website, log in, and then SlackMap knows that they are registered with ISA and they can do edits. Okay, so any questions for that? If not, I'll continue. So since a couple months, we've had 2 new communication directors. You might remember last year, Annalisa was working for us. Now we have Christine mostly doing most of the work as a communications director, and Andrea helping her with getting social media posts out. I think lots of you have probably seen there's been a little bit of a change in social media, and that's mostly thanks to Christine and Andrea helping with this. So these two actually get paid, or Christine gets paid €100 per month. So this is an expense we wanted to make to actually get this work off the shoulders of the executive and advisory board. And I think it's working quite well. Thanks a lot, Christine and Andrea. 2 other people I would like to thank who are doing lots of work in the background. Andreas Erschen, who is the designer of all our logos, and Annalisa, who's been doing a few designs through us. For example, the weblog tie-off, which was done by Annalisa. Probably some of you have seen that. Good. Social media numbers are pretty stable. I didn't download the newest numbers, so I've seen that they've gone up recently. So for next year, with Christine's effort, I think we should see quite a push on these numbers in the future. Good. So our main publication organ still is our website, and also our blog in there, our data page. So if you want to see what's going on within the ISA. Besides social media, the website is always a good place to go. Sorry, it shouldn't be like that. And then we have our data page. Here you can see the most recent numbers on 2022. So about 8,500 users, 13,000 sessions. And when you look at the most visited pages, it's quite obvious that the certificates, lots of people look for certificates for basics, flyer, accident reports, athlete registration. So these are things that people are most interested in. Then we always have a need for translators. There's still quite a few publications which are not published, halfway done. So if you know people that can translate in whatever language, this will help a lot. Okay, any questions on what I talked about so far? Okay, if not, I want to continue on a bigger project we've embarked last year. And the idea was to get a new category of members going, which is already established in our articles, but we've never made use of it. It's the honorary members. And we kind of brainstormed all these members that could be potential honorary members. And we decided in a first go, we only want to give honorary memberships or award honorary memberships to people that have contributed to slacklining in the very early stages of our sport. And this would most notably be like before 2005. We made some exceptions to this. I'll come to that in a second. But just that you don't start asking like, why is Andy Lewis and Samuel Wallery not elected as honorary members? It's because we try to focus on really the early stages of slacklining from the 70s until 2005. So in the next step, I'm going to show you the names we came up with. And at the end, we have to vote on actually accepting these people as honorary members. Basically, this does not come with anything specific, but just like a piece of paper that says you're an honorary member. And the idea is to then, once they're voted in, to actually have them on our website. So here, the first group of people that we thought should be honorary member of the ISA. So this includes Adam Grashowski, one of the first slackliners in 1979, and Jeff Ellington, two pioneers of slacklining. Ellington, obviously, with the Ellington tensioning system, well known until today, or also primitive tensioning system, as people call it. Then we have the two people who rigged the first high lines. That would be Scott Balcom and Chris Carpenter in 1983. The year I was born. And Scott also was the first person to produce a weblog. He was the first to write the book about slacklining. So these are definitely the top four we came up with. Then some very important people that came after them. Darren Carter, unfortunately deceased. Dean Potter, deceased as well. Terry Acomb and Charles Victor Tucker III, very well known as Chongo, from the famous Chongo Mount. The last two is still alive, fortunately. And so we thought of adding these two as honorary members as well. Then continuing with the US, that's where most of the slackline pioneer work was done, obviously. We also wanted to have a woman, and we thought of Libby Sauter, which was the first female highliner, notably at Lost Arrow Spire. So very first female, which was active as a highliner. And then we kind of switch over to people which brought slacklining from the US into the rest of the world. And we focused on some people. I'm sure we're also missing some here. I hope not too many. One second. Ah, perfect timing, Dan. You're just presenting the honorary members. So Dan just joined. He helped with the honorary members. So from the people then actually spreading slacklining to the world, we picked one or two from each country, which were very early slacklining. And for the UK, this was John Ritson. For Norway, this was Christian Schuh. Then very active slackliner in Germany, Holger Welsch, unfortunately deceased. Then also deceased, Damien Mercier.
Yeah.
He was pioneer and founder of SlackFR, so a very important figure in France. Also nominated as honorary member. Then Michi Aschhaber, also not active anymore. He was one of the first prominent highline and longline world record holders from Austria. Then also important to mention Heinz Zack, probably one of the first who brought slacklining to Europe. And with him also Stefan Sigrist, also one of the guys who brought slacklining to Europe, notably Switzerland. They were all highlining pre-2005. Then lots of you might know Tancred, unfortunately deceased, and Armin, two very important figures in France and Italy. Also nominated as honorary members. And then we could also think of two people from South America, Patricia Mercado and Andres Segues. So two people from Chile, which were the first to actually highline in Chile, and notably in Patagonia over a glacier in the years of 2003 or so. Okay, and the last two honorary members we would like to add. First, Walter Siebert, a person who already slacklined in the 80s, but we would like to nominate him because he helped us a lot with getting the ISA safety standards going. He's from Austria and still actively working with us. And then we also thought of actually honoring Mark Thompson, dear friend of mine or us. He was, I say, founding member, executive board member, general secretary, responsible for translations, and unfortunately died a couple months ago in an accident where he fell from a cliff, not slackline related. Yeah. So this is the very long list of people, most of them very old slackliners, most of them not active anymore or deceased people. And what do you guys think? Are we missing someone? Obviously, there's lots of people we all know that could be honorary members, but we thought we would focus first on this group of people. Any comments on this?
No, I think it's great. I think the question is, what is the process for future nominees?
Sorry, can you speak a little bit louder? I cannot really hear
What
you.
would be the future? What would be the process for future nominees? Because I think this is a great start.
Yeah.
I think the better question is, like, we can start with this, and then in the future, how are people inducted? I think that's the more important question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the basic answer to this right now, there's no like procedure in place. The way I would handle this is active members or active volunteers can suggest people. And for right now, because I think it's overseeable, I would say it's a executive and advisory board decision to actually then add them to this list and present them at the General Assembly. So for now, I would keep it simple. So the general procedure on what people we want to nominate next year or in the coming years, it's not defined. We have to figure this out. But we have quite an extensive list of people ready to go, and we just need to define on how to proceed. Do you have a suggestion on how we could do it then?
No, I think that's right. Just every year you just ask for nominations and do it as you said. I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. I think it's the simplest, and as long as it's not like as critical or somebody does not agree, then I would do it like that. Yeah. So keep the process fairly simple, straightforward. There's also nothing really we can give to these people right now, but like a piece of paper. Yeah, and actually more than half of them we were not able to contact in person to tell them this. So maybe after they have been voted as honorary members, we still have to try to like contact them, and if we reach them, if they kind of reject this, then that's their choice. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is what we have right now. Yeah. Any other comments and ideas? Okay, so then I think the next step would be to actually vote. And so this is kind of just what they would get, such a simple certificate with a simple phrase, and basically something they could just print and put on their wall at home. I was thinking of maybe printing it and sending it by mail. So this is something we still have to figure out, but basically that's what they would get right now. So yeah, next step would be to vote on these honorary members. And I think we can keep it fairly simple. If there are no objections to having this group of people as honorary members, we would vote them in all at once and just agree on them, basically trying to contact them as soon as we got in touch with them or their relatives or closest relatives. We would add them to our website.
We don't have a separate form to vote on them. Shall we move? Shall we put them into the? Should we put them in with like when we vote in the board in like other members? Then, or not a board, but the active members and observer members and so on. I can put that quickly into the form there.
I think like if there's no objection and nobody wants to abstain their vote, we can just call it a day and have them as honorary members. So if you don't agree with this decision to have these guys as honorary members, then speak up now. We can discuss it. Okay, cool. So we have a whole list of new honorary members. Let's then maybe you can help me a little bit in trying to reach again the US guys. I will send you all the PDFs so you have like something you can send them. And what would be nice is maybe to get like a sentence or a testimonial or something out of them to put on our website if possible. If not, we'll just leave it at a simple sentence and so on.
Yeah, I can help you with that. I already contacted most of them. I think the only one I couldn't get was Dean Potter's next of kin, which is the closest person I could reach out to and can respond back. So if anybody here knows or can help, that would be helpful. But I think he's the only one that I can't reach.
Okay.
Cool. Family.
Thanks. Nice. Okay. Wonderful. So next up are the reports of our commissions. Starting with the Access Commission, I'll do this quickly because it's focusing on one topic, and that is SlackMap. So as you have seen, SlackMap is online. So we're still looking for people to kind of work more with SlackMap. And most of the work is done by one person now, and kind of motivate. It would be great if you could share SlackMap around to your community and ask them to enter data to it and keep the data fresh and updated. I'll show some statistics on that just in a second. In general, the Nature and Access Commission needs active people, so we're really struggling to get volunteers to work on SlackMap, access, nature-related things as an independent group. So right now, the Nature and Access Commission is not really up and working, up and functioning, even though I think it is very interesting what they could be doing. So, quick update on SlackMap. The person that actually made SlackMap just walked up next to me here. So right now, registered on SlackMap, we have almost 7,000 lines, more than 1,700 spots. And then these new features we created, so-called access guides. So these are extra information you can put in to make it easier for people to find things around the spot, like parking, camping, access, and so on. So you can basically draw on the map. 24 of those have been entered. Total 90 countries. So we have lines and spots in 90 countries, which is quite a big number, I think. And so since we started SlackMap, which is now what, about a half a year? Mm-hmm. About a half a year, John finished SlackMap. There's been 53 new lines added, 44 lines updated, 20 new spots added, and 4 spots edited. So in other words, there's still lots of work that has to be done within SlackMap, especially updating old spots and also adding new spots. So it would be nice if you could share slackmap.com to your community through whatever channels you have and tell them to keep their spots updated. Another feature which is new on SlackMap is the community map. Maybe you've seen this. If not, check it out. When we started, we had 1,300, bit more than 1,300 communities registered, and now we're at 1,500, more than 1,500 groups. So these are basically dots on the map with links to websites, Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram groups, and so on. Just recently, we added the possibility to add WhatsApp and Telegram links. So we've seen the trend of lots of groups going away from Facebook groups, coming into these new social media spheres. So please also tell your local groups that there's the possibility to update to their new channels, whatever they are using. Also, you can see on SlackMap, if you go on slackmap.com, you see on the upper left corner the sign-in option. So in order to add and edit lines, you need to sign in. And also important to know, if you want to, like for small, this is specifically interesting for smaller countries, if you want to manage your region as a national federation, so this is only something we give the option to the national federations, you have the possibility to just allow your own members to edit and delete lines. So everybody can always add lines. If you would like so, as a national federation, you can decide to have the exclusive right to edit and delete lines. So some countries have decided to go this path, notably Switzerland, Turkey, some other countries, Slovakia, Netherlands, Slovakia. So they are managing the spots within their countries. Obviously, this is something for rather smaller countries. For bigger countries like the US, this feature probably doesn't make sense because it's so widespread. And for these countries, editing, deleting, and also adding is open for everyone. Okay. So this system works through the login and this membership request function that I showed before. So if you're a member of a national federation and then you request to join and they accept, you then have the rights to edit and delete lines as well. So it's not just limited to one person, but to all the members as well. Any questions on that? Cool. Okay, I want to take the time to thank John Sahin for putting all the work and effort into this project. It's an ongoing project. He's working on this on a regular basis. He's active now. Okay, so thanks to John. And another person I want to thank, because he's also doing work in the background, which nobody sees, is Simon Hiller. He's also my roommate here, doing lots of stuff on the website, in the background on IT stuff. Cool. So that was Nature and Access Commission. Next up, Safety Commission. I think I can pass the word to Hai on this one.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? I am Hai Tai. I am the current president of the Safety Commission. Let's talk about the SAFECOM annual report. Next slide, please. Here is the list of the SAFECOM members. We just inducted 2 more board members to the Safety Commission, both located in the United States, and potentially a third from Brazil, but that will be coming in the next few weeks. But we could always use more hands if anybody would like to volunteer. Some publications that we've done in the SAFECOM, basic research that we've done, publications from those. There is the UV webbing study, which we had a talk about in the safety event that just occurred. We're finalizing that so we can post that out to the internet. Same thing with the shock load in webbing knots study, which will be coming out shortly as well. We had some warnings for high-tech gripping problem. We made a small community outreach for that with regards to webbing grabs and sheathed high-tech webbings. We have a mainline failure list, which currently has 30 registered. We'll soon have just a few more. I feel like this is something that's often heard from the community, that there's never a mainline failure, when in fact there's quite a few, which is why we have backups. All of these publications and various older publications do eventually get translated. It'd be nice to have some additional translation help for the UV and shock load studies. If anybody would like to contribute their linguistic resources to the Safety Commission. Next slide. We have a few new tools to help riggers and walkers and festival organizers. The first one is the backup fall simulator. Thanks to Augustin for building that. So this is a simulator that will tell you how far you'll fall and what forces you might generate in the fall. It needs more outreach. I feel like this would be a very useful tool, especially considering we're seeing more permalines in midline spots, thanks to freestyle. So we're hoping to do some more outreach on this tool. And there's also the potential for a new study to further validate the models that this backup fall simulator uses to generate its data. So look for that potentially in the future. We also have a festival risk assessment that is on the way. This will help festival organizers calculate and manage risk in their gatherings. Some safety outreach that we continue to do in the SAFECOM are Fail Fridays, and we're hoping to start back up Safety Sundays. These are social media posts that seem to get a lot of traction, especially the Fail Fridays. Goes over actual failures in highline systems through our SAIR reports. And then Safety Sundays, I think, will be important going into the future for making sure that rigging knowledge is not lost to the ether of time. Publications that we've done will be having, in addition to the previous publications that I've talked about in the previous page, we'll continue doing the SAIR 2023 retrospective, so accidents and incidents in slacklining. That will be worked on in the coming weeks to be published by the end of the year. And then accidents and fatality reports as they occur and come in. We just concluded the safety event in Bern 2023 with some very interesting talks. We'll be, if you weren't able to join the meetings, we'll be releasing the recorded videos of the safety event talks in the coming months. So keep an eye out for those. Some very interesting talks. Okay. Some updates on our gear standards. We had a major update to the Highline system standard, adding intermittent connections. So these are split highlines, very relevant for large, big highlines, but then also trick lines, or sorry, freestyle midline systems with zone connections. This update to the Highline system standard, this is reflected also in the Highline webbing standard. The Highline system standard was free for everybody, so if you need to talk to a municipality or local landowner about gaining access, it would be a good place to start by sending them a link to the Highline system standard, which now also defines intermittent connections. Changes in the Highline webbing standard were to reflect the intermittent connections, connector strength, and the different strengths needed between different types of intermittent connections. We have two new standards, the connector standards and the sling standard. The connector standard was important for defining intermittent connections using a certified connector of various strength depending on its use case. We have the sling standard as well because there was some desire from manufacturers for the standard. These are relatively simple standards, so hopefully we can get some approved gear from them. Okay. We had some small revisions to various standards, the most notable one being webbing standard with regards to webbing grabs and desheathed high-tech lines. Okay, we have 26 products certified and many more certified soon. All the certified gear is available in the certified gear database on our data platform, data.slacklineinternational.org. Here's a picture of what a approved gear certificate might look like. The Safety Commission gained one safety partner in the past year, which was SlackLife India. We might gain a few more from South America this year, as well as maintaining our relationships with the existing large manufacturers. Any questions on the Safety Commission annual report?
Yeah, hi. It's Trent here from the Australian Slackline Association. Just a question on the fall simulator. Is that publicly available at the moment, the backup fall calculator?
It is currently available at data.slacklineinternational.org. Augustin can tell you more about that as he's the developer.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Sorry, we turned on two mics at the same time. Now it works? Okay, now it's clear. Sorry about this.
So yeah, the backup simulator is available on the data page. If you want more information about it, there is also it's hosted on my GitHub. I'll post the link in the chat in a minute when I find it, and it's sorry. It just uses energy estimate, energy evaluation to keep to compute how the backup hole looks like. It allows you to specify split setup, which is what I was aiming for compared to the previous backup hole simulator by Panos and Athanasiadis. And yeah, I made a presentation about it in the safety event 2 days ago. No, yesterday only. It was only yesterday. So if you want to, this is also going to be posted on the ISA YouTube account, the presentation, so you can check that out.
Hey, great. Thank you. I'll check that out. The other one was the festival risk template that you designed. Is that also been released?
That is not available on our website yet, but we're doing the finishing touches on it, I believe.
All right, so I'm also very interested in that. Thank you.
I didn't understand the full question, Trent. What were you asking for, the second part? What is the availability of what document?
The risk management template that was done up in regards to running festivals, gatherings.
Yeah, maybe we can free you the current status so you can see how usable it is.
Yeah, because we've got one that we've designed, so I'd like to sort of compare and add things that we've missed or correct things.
Yeah, feedback is very much welcome on our part as well. It's been a while since we've been working on this, but it's probably it needs changes all the time because the risks are changing as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I think there was one more question.
I think it was just a thumbs up.
Ah, okay. So anybody have any comments for HAI and the Safety Commission? If not, let's continue with Sports Commission. I have not checked. Is Isidro active?
Hello, Tom.
Ah, you're
yes,
here.
I'm here.
Ah,
yeah, I managed to get it. I just arrived. I heard the Safety Commission, and I'm here to present briefly the Sport Commission, so we can continue.
So let me know when I need to go forward with the slides. You can start.
Okay, perfect. Well, the Sport Commission is, well, you can go ahead. As you can see, we have some pictures of people doing trick line, also speed line, females and males. A little bit the concept of our commission is to go back a little bit. Don't spam the people, Tom. Okay, we have some advances this last year. Well, our commission is related to all the sport recognition of the slacklining. This includes all the competitive disciplines that exist. Last year we compact a little bit the ranking list to actually give more priority to the disciplines that have more competitions around the world. That's mainly highline freestyle, trick line, a speed line, and speed line in short, like in the grass or in the floor, or highline speed line. And also we have the rigging competition. That's a really interesting and innovative competition. That's how they use some specific gear to develop some specific settings, usually with not too much gear for achieving that. So can you go to the first slides, please, Tom? So, well, our commission, probably you already know about it because we exist since 2017 and we have been increasing our tasks and responsibilities, but the main goal is to achieve the legal recognition of slackline as a sport worldwide. We just started with Switzerland last year. That was recognized as an official sport. It was the first country that achieved that status, and now we're aiming to support other countries and federations with the knowledge and the infrastructure, mainly digital infrastructure, to achieve this status. we have the hypothesis that with this legal recognition, the countries will have more resources, and the slackline communities will be more will have more resources in the more access to the territories, more resources for supporting their athletes worldwide, you know, for the competitions and also for training. And of course, we think that it's also related with education, because if we manage the recognition as a sport, it's more likely to have educational programs related to the promotion of this new sport that will be slacklining. So, well, next slide, please, Tom. One of our main worries was that we wanted to incorporate more females in the work, because it was a commission most likely guided by men. So this year we incorporate 2 new members to the directors board. That's Bruna Campos and Mireia Bernabeu. They too are doing the secretary tasks. Meanwhile, we have the other members, Sidio, Watson, Ezequiel, and I, that we have been working together for the last 4 years, I think, or more, maybe more. This is our team. This is the director board. We have been not so active as we would like to, like in networking, but in our own territories, every one of us have been pushing our local scene, especially supporting events, representing the ISA in different contests, helping with the judging systems, and so on. Please, next. Also, we have what we call the athletes representative, that are active athletes that give us feedback and that help us to actually define which are the needs of the community, the active community. Also, most of them are males, but also we have a very good new element that supported us this year. That's Giada. Giada, she's a female athlete that has been really famous this last month, because she has won a lot of championships. She has been really active in the triathlon scene. She also that was organized a few weeks ago, and also she has performed. She performs as a professional artistic slackliner in different scenarios. So I think she's a good example to show how someone can become a professional slackliner in the different dimensions that involve sport and also artistic and so on. So this is our athletes representative. Many of them you already know: Jen Ross, Alison Ferreira, and many others. So we're really grateful for the help that they bring to us. Nicolas Chenevier, of course, Jan Sahin, he's so important in this commission too, because he has created the digital platforms that we use, like the ranking list. Rafael Bridi, that helps with world records, and so on. Please, thank you very much. What's the next slide, please? Tom, can you pass to the next slide? Hello, is there anybody there? Did my connection fall?
Okay, I changed the slides, but I think you cannot see it, huh? Okay, let's wait for Isidro. Hope he will be back in a second.
Hello. I think I lost connection for a moment. Did you? Can you pass the slide, Tom?
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay. Sadly, I was not able to work too much in the presentation this year, so I will briefly talk about areas that we are doing. First of all, the event coordination and support. This is a very important area in which some of the representatives of the championship and represent the ISA in terms of seeing that it's a fair championship, that the settings are safe used in the championship, and so on. So we have been supported by Jonas Aumblau and also Maximiliano Martinez. They have world doing support. Maximiliano has. It's important to also have involve the ISA into all the different disciplines of slacklining. That includes, for sure, highline and trickline. We also have the slackline world ranking list coordinator, that's Watson. Also the world record with the Guinness World Record. This year, 2024, we're going to have 2 pages in the Guinness World Record. And we have plenty new records, and this task was done mainly by Rafael Bridi, also with the support of Tom and other parts of the crew. And finally, we have the judging systems labeled project. I say it's a project because it's still on development. We're trying to find the setup, the basic setup, to have a way to deliver the judging systems to the community, and also to help the judges that have been being judges these last years to have some recognized status on the judging scenario. This means also giving certifications to judges that have judged important championships and so on. So these are the 4 areas of our commission. Thanks. Next slide, Tom. Well, the ranking list has the different disciplines that I already showed you. Next slide, please. So this year, from what we have registered in the ranking list, we have 43 championships. I think from these 43, there are some that are going to happen in the next weeks that are related to the Switzerland organization with Bern City and the Transalp and so on. There are some championships that are going to happen there. And also we have 3 cancelled championships, mainly related to championships that were focused with female categories, in which there was not enough female participation to do the championship. So that's the main reason that some championships got cancelled. I think this is like the most important aspects that we're doing now. We're working in this way to, well, these are the online championships. This year we only had 1. From what I saw, there was an online championship in Japan. Next slide, please, Tom. Since after the pandemic, it was not so necessary to do online championships, so the amount of online championship decreased. We also can find in the ranking list, you can also find the top rankings. In this case, I'm just displaying the trickline female ranking, that you can see the top 10. You can also do that with Highland Freestyle, with Speedline, and with rigging, and so on. You can also filter from countries and ages. In general, if you haven't seen the ranking list, I invite you to visit it in the isa/rankings.org. There you can find the FAQ. That's the document that describes how a championship can receive a specific amount of points regarding the size of the championship. If it's a small championship, it will receive less points for the athletes. If it's a World Cup or a Masters or an international championship, you can always give more points to the athletes. Next slide, please. And can you go further, Tom, please?
So I went further, but I think you cannot see it again. We're at the World Cup, Speedline World Cup.
Now I see it, yes. We want to congratulate the organization of the Speedline World Cup that had 9 female participation and 20 male participation. That means that 29 persons competed in this championship. And also want to congratulate Sasha Grill. He was the male, the person who got the shorter time in the lines. He achieved 1 minute and 6 seconds. And also we want to congratulate Tania Monier for the female best time. So congrats to all the persons who competed, and also congratulations to Benoit for organizing this amazing championship in the castles in a really nice scenario. Well, now, of course, with the account system that Tom presented in the beginning, you can download the certificates of your participation in different championships. This is an excellent asset for the for all the athletes who want to receive more sponsorship or support from the brands. Next. Also, we have the contest organizer certificate, in which the organizers can download it. Same, it's useful for obtaining, for receiving support from for the next events that you want to do. And world records. We have 132 people with slackline world records. Some of them will appear in the Guinness World Record. We're officially a Guinness World Record partner, so it's great to be able to show to the worldwide what we're doing, and of course this will eventually help the recognition of the status of slackline as a sport. Okay, next. Okay, the judging system label is it's some process. We haven't had too much advances. Now what we are doing is gathering all the judging systems and making a easy template in which different persons can see which system exists, which are the pros and cons of every different system, and the contact of the different systems providers. There are different systems that are managed by privates, and of course in the future we would like to have more structure in this specific field to support the recognition of a slackline as a sport that could be replicable in different contexts with the same conditions in a way that's fair enough, and also extrapolable to other contexts. So that's pretty much what I wanted to present. What do we need? We need help with communication and diffusion of sport news, supporting the Instagram of the ISA through the production of content related to sport. Also, we need help in representing in local events and championships. If you have a local event and you want to be representing the ISA in the matter of fairness of the event, safety, and other important elements, you're welcome to become part of the athletes representative. And in general, support with projects, translating, giving your ideas and feedbacks. That's pretty much what we have, and we hope to be working with you and seeing us next year. Thank you very much. Cheers. Now I give the word to the Education Commission. Ciao, ciao. Is there any question? Before I leave, is there any question that someone has for me?
If not, thanks, Isidro. And next up, sorry.
All right. So what's up, guys? Drake here with the Education Commission. We've been a little busy this year doing some courses. We got a few courses going on in the U.S. this year. Had some good turnouts. Can I get the next page? We've had Instructor C courses in Switzerland, Mexico, United States. We had 2 in the United States so far, one at Conflux and Breathe. Had over 500 instructors from 30 countries. Wow. And Trainer C recertifications are happening online. So another fun note there is we got me bumped up to senior instructor position, so we can start doing more certification courses in the US, which I'm really pumped about. So getting as many certified teachers out there as I possibly can is kind of my 5-year plan. Here we got a couple shots from our courses this year. The top 2 are our Conflux on the left and Breed on the right. The other ones are old photos. Next, please. Let's see. We got 9 rigor certifications in the Germany, US, Mexico, Switzerland, Canada. 2 certs are still coming in 23. Ooh, we got Germany and Canada. Next, we've got ISA certified riggers, first aid for riggers workshop, pilot project. To be honest, I'm not super sure what this is about.
Well, there was a pilot project in Turkey 2020, like for first aid course for riggers from Hanan, and that's to be implemented in the rigging cert extensions that will have to happen from 2024 onwards.
Wonderful. Thank you for chiming in. I appreciate it.
And there are potential other certs in other countries, other rigor certs, maybe Australia, end of the year, or we'll see.
Awesome. Thanks. Next slide, please. Looks like we've got certifications are now in the account system, and Thomas already went over how to access those earlier. It looks like I'm, personally, I still don't have my certs in there, so we'll have to update that. What should we do if we are finding our stuff not updated? Who should we reach out to, Thomas? Or...
Yes, so if you cannot see your certs in your system, the easiest way is to write a quick email, and we'll usually it's the case that we have 2 emails of you and we kind of registered the wrong one. Mm-hmm. So ideally you send us your ISA ID, which is in the upper left corner, or just the email you want to work with, and we can add one or the other.
Wonderful. And is that correct? The Instructor B certificate? Do we have the Instructor B manual written?
Nope.
Well, there was a pilot. There was a pilot project back when we started. So the script is not fully finished. It hasn't been.
Yeah.
Hasn't
I
been
don't think that's
since. Yes, but it's in the working. It's in the working.
Awesome. Great. So that's in the works. Wonderful. All right, and we've got our partners, our Temet line, Yoga Slackers. I'm a big fan of The Right Direction. That's one local here to Ohio. They're a youth development through action sports program, and we got a whole Slackline division added to it. They even added a Slackliner to their logo. It looks freaking sweet. RU Slack, How Not to Highline, Balanza, and Balance Training or something. This guy TM Slack, love it. Makes Slack racks. So we're starting to work with Trello. I love Trello. It's a great communications platform. It's a great working platform. So we're starting to break up into some workflow groups, especially for some things like the kids program that we've got going on. And it's just a really easy way to keep track of your tasks, to schedule things, to assign tasks to different people, and to really just keep on top of our stuff, which is something that we struggled with in the past. So I'm really looking forward to getting us all on board with Trello, and yeah, with that we can pass. Right. Did this page get finished? Social media content creator. Do we have one? To be voted in education, General Assembly. Okay, gotcha. No, I didn't see that. Sorry. Cool.
That was it for Educom.
Okay, perfect. Awesome.
Thanks, Drake.
Thank you all. Awesome. Yeah, no worries. Anyone have any questions or anything?
Thanks for jumping in from Mariana. She's on a plane.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah, I know. Mariana's having a tough go right now, so I'm happy to fill in.
Okay, no questions for Drake, so let's continue with mutations. So new members within the ISA. Sarah, I'm going to give you the word for this.
Well, we don't have any active members or associations that we decided could be active members. We had a couple of applications, but they did not seem fit to become active members. So they're either going to be associate members or observer members. So we got no active members as of this year. Got 2 new associate members, Slackline from Slovenia and the Firmament Foundation in Poland, who they actually applied as active members, but we think for now, for this year, we decide that they stay associate members. So associate members only have a right to vote on the budget, because we haven't quite checked out like how well they actually represent the whole community in Poland. We've asked about 10 active members in the community, and they weren't so sure about it. So they're associate members for now, and then we'll see how to develop and if we can accept them as active members in the future. Then we've got 3 13 new observer members, many from Brazil. They actually just came in recently. I think Tom made all the Brazilians that are in Bern right now register their associations. And one from the US, one from Canada, one from Italy, and 2 from France, I think. Or 1 from France. 2 from France, yes. You can read them there. I'm not going to try to pronounce them because I'm always butchering the names. You can read them. Yes, so the next step would be to vote on those. All the active members, representatives. The forms are in the chat of this call. It's the second link. So please go on that, click on that if you're the representative, and quickly do your vote. It's going to give you like 3 minutes. As not everyone is here, or not all active members that paid and have a voting right this year are in this call. We probably won't have enough votes. I'll let you know once you guys voted what the vote so far is, and then we'll send you an email with the updated vote in a week or so when everyone voted. We've got 1 vote so far, as I can see. Swiss Slackline voted, so please Australia and Austria, Germany, US. Who else is in the call? Isidro was there for Chile. Rosendo, I guess you could, I don't know if you are representing Mexico.
Not really. I didn't come as the part of the AMS.
Okay.
I come like to see, to catch up. I said to come. Yeah.
Okay.
Sarah, did you say that somebody already voted for Austria? Did Harald do it already?
No, he didn't. I don't know. He's in the call, I guess. Or were you supposed to do it?
Well, I just tuned in a little bit later, but I will do it then. Thanks.
We've got 6 votes so far: Swiss Slackline, Australian Slackline Association, US, Czech Slackline Association, Slackline Lithuania, and the US again. Okay, so only the first count, the first vote counts because that's Dan. Representing. Okay, Germany and Austria now have voted as well. Everyone's agreeing. Got 7 responses out of 13 that I think 7 didn't pay, correct? So we actually have, yes, we have enough votes to go through with this. We have more than half of the votes. I think that's what we need. So congratulations to our new members, and we'll put you on the website accordingly soon, and probably also make a new blog post about it. Cool. Next, we voted that, yes, and I guess it's Augusta next for the financial statement. It's our treasurer.
Yes. So I'm presenting a bit the accounting of this year. So there wasn't much transaction compared to from last year, 2022. There wasn't much transactions. Mostly, a lot of the membership fees were still not like the country, national federation membership fees when we didn't ask for them because it was COVID, and also we didn't ask for some of those from the manufacturers. But now we're back on track. So last year's revenues, so membership were still a big part. Donations also, we'd like to thank our donators. The Education Commission, so these are all the rigor and instructor certifications. And the Safety Commission, this income is from the UIAA partnership. And then obviously some of this income has to be spent. So the Safety Commission spent some money on experiments last year. So it was a lot of travels for the UV projects to go get the webbing from the mountain and back. And then paying for some experiments. Communication, so now we have new communication manager, but we were already paying our communication managers some small thing. It's not a lot, obviously. Last year, and then the membership, that's our membership of the UIAA, and then the bank fees are still in there. So this is the financial statement for 2022, and you can see the overview of like how the account stands at the end of the year. There is PayPal balance and there is a post finance, which are our two accounts. So the PayPal is not only in euros, there is some in Swiss franc, in pounds, and in US dollars. I think, yes. So we run every year independent audit, which checks that all the bills are accounted for and that they are with the accurate numbers. So yeah, it's a bit of a work, but it doesn't take that long because we didn't have many of these bills. And here we have the certification that the numbers were right, signed by Joshua Leupolz, and he was also with Mateus Samir de Oliveira Wevini. Mateus here to do this audit. So now you can vote and say you approve of this or not.
That was the first link in the chat.
Just a question. So you've got memberships there as €1,000. Now is that memberships over the previous year? Membership revenue?
So it's memberships that were paid in 2022. So all of those, they're for the previous years. Even some of the membership, like the new memberships that were paid recently, they don't account into this. The accounting is only for the year 2022, the transaction that went into this account that year.
Actually, Augustin, could we go on with the presentation, because it's both voting on the financial statement and the budget.
Okay, for sure. So budget for 2023 hasn't changed. So we already had made this and discussed it last year. If you want to look into the details, I cannot. The screen is too small. So we are expecting some increase in memberships fees because we have more members. Donations roughly staying the same. Safety Commission, the 2000 income might be some overdraft from the 2022 year, which was accounted for 1,500, and we already had 3,000. Education Commission, we're going to continue our work. And Sports Commission, I don't know exactly where this 200 is supposed to come from, but we'll see. The expended some budget for Safety Commission, some budget for the Education Commission. So the Education Commission actually balances itself out because we have to pay our instructors and we have to pay the places we do the rigor search and the instructor. So most
it's
of the
always, because we've got 10 euros per new rigor and 5 euros per new instructor C.
Yeah.
So there's always a plus there.
So there's a bit of there should be some extra in the Education Commission. Unfortunately, some of the rigor search last year got cost more in travel cost than they paid for in fees, but that's some bad calculation from the organization part, and it shouldn't happen again. Yes, and yeah, and then there should be communication somewhere in there. Yeah, communication at the bottom, which goes up because now we have we are pushing this a bit more. So any questions on this budget? So we can. Is there more? Yeah, vote. Okay.
So that's what the vote on, both the budget and the 2022 finances.
Oh, so my question was in regards to the membership revenue. There must be, so we've got 20 members. There must be quite a few, obviously, who haven't paid, or we've suddenly got a large increase in the last year. What's the discrepancy there between membership revenue and membership?
Yeah, so I think this is twofold. One thing is in the financial statement Augustin just presented, we are actually talking about 2021 membership fees. So we always bill them at the end of the year for the past year. Maybe in the future we should change that, but right now it's the case that what you just saw is basically 2021 membership fees for active members. And that was still a COVID year, so lots of active members.
Actually, like the manufacturers, partners, the safety partners, we build them at the end of the year. But the members, we build them like we just sent the bill before this General Assembly this year. So for the 2022, well, 2021, 2022 year. There's some that didn't pay, and for those we have well, we are considering suspending voting rights if they don't pay again this year.
So the plan is that if you don't vote once, if you don't pay once or twice, like twice with the one COVID suspension, if you don't pay twice without that, then you're out completely. And in the years that you don't vote, that you don't pay, you don't get to vote.
Okay. And the other one, I might have missed it, Augustine, sorry, but with the Safety Commission, where does that revenue come from?
So the $3,000 revenue or euros from the Safety Commission came mostly or all of it, I don't know.
2.5.
Oh, yeah, the 2,500 that came from the partnership with the UIAA. So when for the study on the UV study on webbing, they paid 2,500 to help us with the study.
Yeah, right.
And we are going to publish the results soon, and we are planning on making more.
Thanks.
Thank you for your questions.
Hey, Sarah, do you want to continue with the next topic as well?
I could. Just so far, we've only got 4 votes on the budget from Slackline US, Slackline Lithuania, the Czech, Slackline Association, and Swiss Slackline. So if the representatives could just quickly vote, then we could go through and finish with that as well. I guess Trent wanted to get his answers first before he's.
I'm just having a read of the budget. Just
yeah.
Give me another minute or so.
Yeah, no rush. Five responses. Germany. All right, we've got 7, and that, no, 6 actually. Just make sure Dan is the one who answers, no? The one that counts, because it's on the call now. One more who's there that we had earlier.
Isidro left, I think, or is he still there?
Austria, I think. Still missing. But I guess we can continue. So we don't have any new board members. There's just a few people that are up for re-election. On the executive board and the advisory board, we're voted in for 2 years. Currently, Thomas Buckingham is the president. Vice president is Harald Höglinger, treasurer Augustin Monat. Representatives on the executive board are Nina Mappes, Adam Janata, and Arthur Lefebvre. And up for re-election are the vice president and Adam. And on the advisory board, I am currently chairperson, and Lisa Botani, who's with me in the room, she's vice chairperson, as well as Representative Philip Gissing. He's up for re-election, and the other 2 representatives, Helmut Kronacher and Peter Patz as well. Yes, and we need new auditors, auditors that actually have time before the General Assembly to do that job. Do you have anyone who wants to do that next year? Otherwise, we can give Eva another chance, but we need a second one. So if you know someone who would have time to do that, like a day or 2 before the next General Assembly, that'd be great. Are there any questions about any of the people that are on the board? If not, he can start voting, or representatives can start voting. Representatives of the active members. 4 answers so far from Germany, Switzerland, Australia, and the US. For those who don't know, for the representatives, it's the 3rd link in the chat of this call. I'd like to thank all the representatives that are here of the associations that paid for paying and being here at this time, especially if your time zone does not go very well with ours. Especially looking at Trent. Isn't that 4 o'clock for you, something?
I woke up at 2:45 a.m.
Ouch, that hurts.
And
thank you.
we had a first committee meeting last night, so that meant like 3 hours sleep.
Oh, no.
And it was a long committee meeting too.
And you're also the one who has the most questions and the most awake, it seems.
We're all tired for creating the presentation all day long.
Yeah.
By the way, I just saw that I think Juan Gabriel joined as well. He's one of the new members we just voted in. Which one?
Yeah, I can. I didn't understand very well. I can vote.
No, you can't. Only the active members. But we just decided on voting in your club, Choose Life.
Yeah.
So you have been officially accepted.
Okay.
And I'm here with Mateus in the room.
Yeah, perfect.
So congratulations.
5 representatives have voted for the board. There's still maybe Austria, Lithuania, and a few others. You could quickly give your vote. Lithuania has done it. Maybe to check.
John is here. He can vote, but he's eating right now. So
for Turkey.
I don't think it's right for me to vote for myself, Sarah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you should vote for everybody but yourself.
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you like a little note. Exclude me from the vote.
We're still missing a few to have a majority. Austria.
Hello, excuse me. Are we still voting on the board? Just
Yes.
like in Lithuania voted already, yeah?
Yes, you did. Yeah. We now have Turkey voted as well, so We've got 7 out of 13, so we've got, yeah, a majority. Great.
Thanks a lot, guys. Wonderful. So we got this over with. Thanks a lot, Sarah, for managing that. Let's see what else we got to talk about today. Proposals. Okay, let's see what this is. This is more questions to you guys. Do you have any proposals, things you want to talk about? Please speak up. Anything you want to share with us? Now will be the time. Okay, if not, just I think this is almost a final slide now, right? Yeah, pretty much. So if you still have energy, I know we took us a little bit longer this time. We started a bit late. We had some confusion with the link. Nevertheless, if you still have energy and time, please fill out our accident forms and forward it to your members. We've been trying to collect lots of incidents and accidents in the past days to include in our accident report we're writing now to get some good statistics off that. So please don't forget to share this link on a regular basis. If you know of incidents that happened, please let us know through this form. Thanks a lot. So I guess this would be it to conclude today's General Assembly. Thanks so much for joining. If you have any final comments, things you want to share, please speak up. We're going to stay in the chat for a couple of minutes. But if not, thanks that you're here. Thanks for being a member. Yes, we have a question from Aaron. Go ahead.
Hello, guys. I wanted just to ask if not the accident but incident happened last year. Should I fill the form, or is it too late already?
No, it's never too late. You can also fill really old stuff. We sometimes get reports which are several years old. This is always very helpful. So feel free to just add from the simple bruise to heavy injuries, anything, whatever you'd like. I think there's lots to learn from these incidents. So please fill it out, share it with your community. And you can also do this without mentioning name or location, or without wanting it to be published. This is up to you. Yeah. Thanks for asking.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you.
Thanks, Trent, for being here, for getting up so early in the morning, and thanks to everyone else who joined in today. At the end, we got a couple people, and everything is recorded, so it's going to be online on our YouTube as soon as we finished it. Any other comments? Final remarks?
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Trent. Anybody else want to say something? If not,
yeah. Hey, Tom.
Go ahead.
Hey, Tom.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I just wanted to apologize that I wasn't able to make yesterday, but I was able to catch a little bit for the past hour, 2 hours.
Cool. I mean, everything that happened yesterday, today in the safety event is recorded. There were some really interesting talks, so we're going to share that in the next couple of weeks on our YouTube and social media.
Perfect. Thank you.
Cool.
I just wanted to thank for everything what the International Slackline Association are doing. You, Thomas, Sarah, Augustine, and all others. So thanks a lot.
Thanks, Kestutis. Appreciate it. All right. So I guess if that's it, let's conclude today's General Assembly. Thanks everyone for joining. Have a wonderful evening, day, morning, wherever you are in the world.
Night.
Thanks also to Sarah for organizing and helping, and Augusta, treasurer, everybody else here in the room, Brazilians. Thanks a lot, and see you hopefully soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Thomas.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you.